Now the bright lights start to shine as the regular season begins. Driven out to right center field and deep. That ball is gone. See ya. What a beginning for Stanton, and the Yankees are up 2-0.
Friends, this is Monday 123. Again, it's a pleasure. It's exciting to be around here. And we have a great show because now we're going to talk about baseball. It's a full, complete podcast show that we're going to have it. The name of this show will be 3 and 2 because mostly it's about, 3 and 2. We have a count on baseball and it's always related to that. So we're going to have a great time. I don't know if we're going to do it on a daily basis. You let us know what is going to happen with this show. It's after all, we're gonna bring out the community itself, and we're just gonna talk about baseball. Personally, I think I watched baseball for a long time before, since we got this moment and talking about what happens in the MLB and the rest of the world baseball. But I think that baseball has a lot of passion, has a lot of feelings that comes around. People make things that they consider as a boring sport. It does sometimes, but it depends on which how you want to put it. If you want to see baseball, which is boring, well, that's your kind of attack, and you want to misjudge something and you have not seen it before, and you have not tested before. So that's one thing. But let's get to it. I think that what happens right now at the professional level, it's amazing. We have different topics, which is what is happening with the Yankees, what is happening with the Red Sox, which allow me to say right now they have a lot of frustration. And it's not because they're not playing good ball. They're playing whatever is just playing, but it doesn't have enough resources to really enjoy and just bring out to the table, whereas still they're the world champions of baseball. And also, you have we're gonna talk about a little bit further about the teams who they don't have a big payroll, but in the end, they play so good, such as Dodgers, Astros, Rangers. Well, they're not having a great time again, but we just want to say hi to Texas and a beautiful state of Texas. Also the Rockies, Padres, and all the teams that always kind of commit to themselves and try to the fan base to just invest the best they can in order to succeed. So we have a lot of things to talk about, but first and foremost, I think about the Yankees. They're coming back, and I don't know for how long I've been being a Yankee fan. I know I'm supposed to be more. I don't have to pick a side, but honestly, I'm a huge Yankee fan, and I don't have any disregard or discomfort. Just really express what I'm rooting, which team I'm rooting for. So along the season, we have seen different scenarios for the Yankees. Since spring, they have a lot of injuries. They have a lot of things to say, but they've been just playing so hard. And this is good. This is good because, when Yankees started good, I think the time machine of baseball, it seems like everything has come to a great order. So I don't know if it's good for this competitiveness of the sport itself, but I think it gives you a sense that, now they're back. But the reason why they're back is not because they have such a big payroll. We have seen it before. This is a whole new level of administration. It is. We don't have the big boss. We don't have it anymore, unfortunately. God rest his peace and soul, and for God's sake. But he was a great man. But now Hall and Hank Steinbrenner, well, they've been doing things on their own style, their own way, but not diminishing the work of what I've been doing so far. Well, they just won one championship. But still, there is plenty to come. That's for sure. In this 2019 season, I think guys with Fraser and guys with Judge and Stanton or Shella, and all those farm systems that they have right now, I think is going to be stable for a long time. But here's the thing. if they don't talk about it, they don't kind of preserve those fundamentals of having such a great talent, just develop it. I think other teams will look for it, and they're gonna buy it. So if I were the Yankees right now in their front office, I would say, okay, let's keep it in mind this. I don't have enough probably stars, but I have it right here in potential that are just bring me the best they can. For instance, I didn't hear, listen, I don't try to be disrespectful about Luke Boyd. I didn't know about it, anything, since I probably, okay, I noticed that now as a first baseman, he has 16 home runs and less than 50 RBI, so which is a great stat for being a first baseman, of course. But those kind of cases are where you kind of notice the people. They have a talent, they have the skill, they have a passion. So that's what really Yankees are right now. And there are going to be some criticism, of course. Probably of the old-fashioned Yankees, which they want, we want Jeter back, we want Pettit, we want all those guys, but they're gone. So now we have a present, and it's a brighter future. So if the sun rises, it's now the time to shine. And again, we're Shella, which is from Venezuela. I think they have a great third baseman, since we have to remember Miguel Andujar is out of the season right now, but he might come back. And you don't have Severino, which eventually, again, he will come back. I don't know how, but hopefully for the Yankees and the rest of baseball, he will come healthy, because all the departments of the Yankees has been painful so far, and it's not about an issue that I had or not, but hey, they're just individuals who are just playing almost 200 games in a year. I haven't played that much, of course. I'm not a professional. I'm just a regular guy who's speaking about sports right now, right here with you, with all the listeners. So, having said that, I think it's not an excuse, but the Yankees right now, they have a hot streak. I don't want to make a prediction. I don't, because you never want to count on what is another teams, which would lead us to the Red Sox. Which I just want to wrap it up very quick about Yankees. They've been doing awesome with Aaron Boone as manager. And let's see how it goes. It's still a long road. It's still a long season, but they've been doing pretty good so far. And I've been just reading about this, and it shocks me. And I gotta tell you this: we've been talking about something that's kind of light, and now is the dark, which is Red Sox. And it's not about a rivalry. It's not about just putting together something. And of course, my friends, Boston against New York, New York against Boston, Red Sox against Yankees. You can put it in different ways, in different scenarios. But let's be honest right now. Probably the Red Sox, I don't know what is happening, because it's supposed to be a fairy tale that still continues. But no. I just read a tweet about Brian Hodge, which is an MLB reporter, a fellow reporter from you guys, and I don't have the pleasure of Brian knows me, or either way, both sides. But I was reading about him, and I just kind of shocks me on this, because the crowd is now desperate. It seems like they are not happy as they used to be last year. And we have to remember, you won that World Series against the Dodgers in a way probably nobody expects so easily. Yes, they did. But now, I think the players are not the problem, and probably Alex Cora is not the problem. I think it's about the team. Probably the team doesn't want to win anymore, and sometimes we have to just bring it up to this. They reach a level in which everything goes down. But doesn't mean that you have to go down with that team. So I don't know if I'm explaining, guys, but I'm just trying to make it up like this. When you are at the peak of your levels and you're top, you feel capable of doing everything. Literally, you can jump, you can run, you can hit the ball, and you can drive it as much as hard as you can. That's fine. But what you don't realize sometimes is that you have that streak. But that's it. If you continue to do that, well, you're a legend. If not, I don't know, you're just a mortal who plays baseball and, they pay you well. You enjoy the benefits of being a superstar. But that's it. Now, Boston, which has a great tradition, of course they do. Of course they will. And they're always going to be a contenders for a world championship. That's for sure. But the news about Cora just being ejected, the crowd kind of been overrated, and I mean, again, it's kind of hesitated for that event. I think it talks about too much about how desperate they are, and that translates to the performance of the players. It doesn't mean there are good players, bad players, but in baseball, you always have to keep in mind that they have to be looking for perfection. They're humans, yes, but still the mechanics are there, and you always have to concentrate. It's not like in other sports. For instance, soccer. You can play, you can train, but still, you want to recover, you play. That's it. That is not that simple. It's not that hard. Football, well, you might have a complication out there, but still, the technique, the mechanics on baseball is everything. And once you lose the rhythm, your tempo, you're out. Literally, you're out. So, with this topic, I just come out with this. Don't desperate. Hold on a little. And if not, things doesn't go as according to your plan, well, we have seen it before in the previous years, a couple of years from now. They won a couple of championships, more than the Yankees, more than anyone, and they fired John Farrell. Because the fan base of Boston is so demanding, such as another market in the U.S. They won't allow you just to relax. They won't. They pay you a great bucket to see you play. But again, it's not about players. It's not about tradition. It's not about Fenway. It's about the results, the performance. So I think, having said that, I think they have just to hold on, as I mentioned before, and they have to just bring it up back to the basics. And that will be part of the Alex Cora as a skipper, to bring it back to the players and tell them, hey, we have to go back and we have to just recover those things that we made us champions. If not, things are going to be the same. But hopefully Boston somehow, I don't want to lose them in the playoffs, but if not, well, let's see how it goes. And the rest of the American League, well, you can see, and we always going to see around there, like Angels are going to be on the top. Astros always going to be fighting for the first place. Probably the Central, well, you might have Chicago, you have the Twins, probably Kansas, but they don't kind of reach at that level. Indians, but I don't know if they're going to be at that level. But still, we are in the middle of the year, of course, but we are still early in the season as the season will continue. There will be an All-Star break, of course, but we have to see and what the future holds. For now, it's always a day by day. Lastly, not less important, about which other teams they're playing good ball. Have you heard about Moneyball? Yes, probably not. You let me know. It's a famous movie, yeah. Probably which a couple of years from now, Brad Pitt was Billy Bean, former director of Oakland Athletics, and he introduced those things. And it's not about sabermetrics to baseball, sabermetrics to all sport itself. And let me tell you a story. I never thought about it was possible, and never thought that probably those things apply to just being to sports. But now it seems like more capable of doing those things, which is great. But let me tell you something about it. I think my story will end as soon as I will continue just talking about this topic, and probably the last one of this first show in 3 and 2. I think Moneyball has given all the teams around the world enough resources, enough validation to say, okay, if I don't have enough payroll, I don't have money to pay and kind of fulfill the needs of what I want to, where I want to be, okay, so I need just to use properly my own resources, and that's what they're doing at the time. All the A's, well, they just feel the need of saying, okay, if I have a guy who is gonna average 2 home runs all the season, well, that's what I have. So how am I gonna maximize all this performance? And now, I think those kind of things applies to different ways in teams, and I tell you why. Because probably you can compare the Angels, who have a greatest payroll, one of the biggest payrolls at the level, at the professional level. And you compare it to the Rockies, and you might say, okay, with Mike Trout's salary, you can pay half of Rockies' payroll, which is insane, but that's the way it goes. You cannot compare Mike Trout, of course, to one of the Rockies, but they have the same chances to be a superstar. They are. But yeah, let's talk about those teams who I believe somehow Moneyball has benefited along the years. And the Rockies are one of them. Because I was kind of commenting or just telling a story with a friend, and we were just talking about Rockies and Padres, and it seems like Rockies are the better team. I don't know. I couldn't put it in perspective. I just told him, like, hey, probably Rockies don't have enough payroll. You don't have Machado. You don't have those players. But still, you know how to use Blackmon. You know how to use Arenado. And a couple of guys who are going to make it the franchise, I don't know if relive the times in the 90s with, well, those big bombers out there. They used to live out there, like Galarraga, Castilla, Walker. But, well, they're gone. And Bichette, of course. But now Rockets, I think they're playing good ball because they understand if they're able to kind of develop those key players, and then they sell them to a big market, they're gonna do a great business. And it's all about business. Baseball is about business, and this is one of the things probably sometimes as fans we kind of tend to lose and we don't understand. Players are just workers, and they try to survive as much as we do in other professions. So Rockies are doing a great job in terms of the farm system, as we mentioned right away with the Yankees, but you cannot compare one thing to another, but it's the same. And they've been trying to do as much as they can, and that's good. The result out there, they haven't been at the stage of playoffs or even thinking about a World Series. They haven't. But they're going to be somewhere. Sometimes I believe that consistency, that persistence they have, well, somehow they're going to reach to the finals of the National League. Another team I guess we kind of all the teams kind of underestimate is maybe the Diamondbacks. Sometimes you have Atlanta, the Braves, even the Cubbies, which they signed Craig Kimbrell, former Red Sox closer. It looks better. So I think those things, those kind of mix that we have already mentioned, it kind of, I don't know if it's going to be a big surprise, because it would be unfair just kind of unless the teams we know are always going to be around. The Dodgers is one of them. Again, the Cubs, of course, and maybe the Phillies, and not the Nationals. Probably yes. Without Harper, they've been looking good enough. I mean, it's not Harper around there anymore, but I think Harper just went to the Phillies with a huge contract, as we know. We're not going to mention it again. There's no need. But I think Bryce Harper right there in Phillies, he might win a couple of pennants, but I don't know. If you want my opinion, he is not going to be a world champion if it's not in the New York Yankees. That's for sure. But coming back and just try to wrap it up, everything we have been saying so far in this show, your show. Baseball We're gonna talk about everything you want, and this show is for you. I mean, I don't have any kind of regards and any commitment to anyone. Just talk about real baseball, what I think, what I know, and this is my perspective about what is happening right now this time in the MLB, which is a lot of news, but well, we try to cover as much as we can. We try to summarize. I hope you guys enjoy this, and well, have a good one. Thank you very much.